Do you have a star on the Walk of Fame?
I think so.
I bet yours is nice.
I have a spotty memory. Yeah. So how did Meyerowitz, how did you become a part of that project? Why did they hire you?
I don't know. Right? That's a good one, Jen. What happened was, there's so many ways that I think this happened, but you know Ben Stiller, the actor?
Yes, I've heard of him.
He's been in many movies. Well, I know Ben a long time, and I went to see him, and I said, well, we got to do a movie together, man. He said, yes, yes. And I said, we should play brothers. I always hear that I look like you, and he said he hear people scream Zohan at him and stuff. So anyways, we said we should do a movie as brothers, and then Noah Baumbach was saying he had a movie coincidentally about us playing brothers, so we all hung out one afternoon and then talked about it, and then Noah wrote the movie. I don't know how the hell he did that.
Oh, you wrote the movie after meeting with you?
Yeah. We discussed some stuff. We discussed some. All our parents were in hospitals, and we talked about how bad that is and how bad that goes, and just talked about different things. And then Noah went away and wrote the movie, and he, like, on every couple of months I'd get a text, movie's coming along nice, and I would get excited, and then he just wrote the whole thing. I couldn't
How long
believe
did that take from?
I would say within 8 months or a year.
Oh my God.
I think.
Wow.
And it was just incredible. I couldn't believe it, reading it, and I loved it.
Oh, it's amazing. The dialogue's fantastic. The
Exactly.
relationship, that's what I'm surprised about. The characters
My
are
God.
so well-rounded
Everybody's
and deep.
character, yes.
Each person in 1 year. I feel like each character would take at least 2 years.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
How about you? How about Mother? How did that happen?
Well, I heard that Darren was making a movie, and I've always wanted to work with him. I've been a big fan for a really long time.
Yeah.
And then he came to Atlanta, and he didn't have a script yet. He just had like these ideas. So I don't know. He told me these like weird ideas that were floating through his head and themes, but not really any narrative. It was just themes, and I thought it was amazing, and I trusted him. So I was in before I read anything. First time I read the script, I threw it across the floor. I didn't even want it in my house. I thought it was like so fucked up on such a deep level. But that's when I knew that that's what he was doing. You know, that's the only way to really kind of say what he needed to say.
Watched it, that is really interesting. And as I said, I kept going and going and going. It was just hard to take your eyes off it. It was just, you're acting in that movie. I can't believe what you did. I can't believe what you had to do. Because if I was going to work every day shooting that movie, I don't think I could handle it. Every day was pretty important on Noah's movie, on Meyerowitz, and
he doesn't like improv, right?
No, right.
You stick to the dialogue exactly. Is that hard for you sometimes?
Yes, absolutely. It's the most I ever studied before a project. Like I got the script. We didn't start shooting for like maybe 5 months after, and I would study my lines every night. I never did that before. Just because I didn't want to let the guy down.
Oh.
And I would do my wife was playing every other part, and I'd lay in bed and go blah, 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 and she'd be like, you almost got it, you almost got it.
Oh,
and
wow.
Then it just took a while to just make it that it's effortless, but I didn't have to think too hard.
Yeah.
And then, how about you? What's your process with that?
I don't really ever memorize either, mostly just out of laziness and boredom. When I come home, I want to watch TV before I go to bed. I don't want to read the script.
Right.
Normally hair and makeup's 2 hours where I can't go anywhere, so I just use that to memorize. But Mother, I didn't really have a choice because we did a 3-month rehearsal process in a warehouse in Brooklyn. Yeah, and so, and the dialogue didn't really change much. So I ended up memorizing it. So I guess in a way that was that was definitely the most I've ever prepared for.
That rehearsal stuff, because we did about maybe a month or a month and a half of rehearsing, which you don't get to do a lot. That does help so much.
Did you think it helped?
Well, it helped me in getting tighter and tighter with the cast.
It helps with the group. That's what I keep saying about it. It's it helped the movie.
Yes.
It didn't really help me.
You mean
I didn't.
It takes away some spontaneity, or?
Not really. What? I mean, maybe it did, but it was mostly just I just didn't find the character yet, like in the rehearsals because
Oh,
it's
right.
such an odd character.
Right, that's true.
And she's so different from me that if I tried to say any of the lines out loud, it just sounded really weird.
Right.
So you are a comedian.
Right. As are you.
Kind of my favorite comedian.
I'll take top 5. Put me in the top 5.
But you also have done amazing dramatic performances, worked with amazing directors.
Yes.
P.T. Anderson.
Sure.
Noah. What is
Sure.
more challenging for you, getting up and doing stand-up without writing any jokes?
Oh, that's
or
awful. That's the worst.
Drama.
I think what happens, like you said, I've worked with great guys. When I'm with these great guys, you know, it's kind of relaxing in a way, knowing that they're not going to move on until they're happy, and that helps, knowing that you trust them so much. And I feel excited doing a movie like that, doing a drama, or whatever you want to characterize it as. Just different than what I usually do. It's an exciting feeling. I'm also, you know, not the most comfortable, but I know that's a good thing to come and be nervous. But I don't know what there's nothing I like more. I like doing it all.
It helps you in a dramatic role to be a little insecure?
Well, maybe if it makes sense to the scene, it does. But yes, I don't think I'm ever insecure an entire shoot. It's when I first start, I don't want to let the guy down. You know, like I remember with Noah and Meyerowitz, every 2 or 3 weeks I'd call him up and I'd say, I think I figured out what you want with this character. And in my head, I'm like doing a different voice and doing some sort of thing. And
You were a totally different character.
Yeah. It's different than what I've done for sure, I think. And I tried. But it wasn't necessarily, that wasn't the guy I had throughout the process. When I would call him up on the phone and think I figured it out, and he would kind of guide me into saying that's not really what I was thinking, man. But how about you? When you're first starting, like the character you're playing in Mother is not what you've done before, not what I've seen you do before. And how do you land upon that? In the rehearsal process, or?
No, it wasn't in the rehearsal process. We got, or maybe it was it might have been on like either the last day of the rehearsal process or, I remember what scene it was. It was we were rehearsing either in Montreal or in Brooklyn. I can't remember, but all I remember is the words coming out and sounding different, and then me going, "That's her." It was the scene where there are 2 people in our bedroom, and I say, "This is our room. You have to leave. You have to get out."
Yeah.
And Darren was like, "What are you doing with your voice?" And I was like, "I don't know. Does it suck? Is it embarrassing?" And I don't know what I was channeling or like who I would like when I was doing Winter's Bone. I just remember like I don't want to say the name of the woman because it would obviously deeply offend her. But there was like one woman who I had in my like just the idea of like the most gross like person in the world.
Right.
And with Grace is what we called her on. It's kind of the opposite. I don't know, but I remember the words coming out of my mouth sounding different, and then when you start speaking differently, and then you start moving differently, and then that helped me pick out the wardrobe and the clothes.
Right, yeah.
Because I knew how she would move.
That feels good. The right wardrobe always connects you more.
Yeah, it's weird, and it also helps you get rid of it at the end of the day.
Yes, yeah.
This was the only movie that everything kept sticking with me.
Yes,
and then as soon as I got out of the clothes and got into my own clothes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's funny. I do a lot of times when I've done different kind of movies, like, you know, like Meyerowitz or whatever I've done, I'll have friends call me up and say, you were doing me, or you were doing,
Really?
and they pick a guy, they're like, you were kind of doing so-and-so. I'm like, oh, no, I wasn't, but there is
Do you ever steal things like from real life?
Yes, yes.
I steal stuff too.
Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, I get so excited when I go, oh man, that's gonna work in that scene, stealing from something that happened or someone I know. Yeah. How are you? How are you with the? Do you read any of the reviews or any stuff about your performances?
Not really. Only when they're good.
Yes, that's
no,
more
I don't.
relaxing.
I've never really. Normally, like I promote a movie, put the work into like promoting it, ask people to go see it, and then it's just kind of out of your hands. And I normally just kind of let it go. Dating the director was different.
Yeah, yes.
You know, it's like we'd be on the tour together. I'd come back to the hotel, and the last thing I want to talk about or think about is a movie. He comes back from the tour.
That's all he wants to talk.
That's all he wants to talk about. And I get
right.
it. It's his baby. He wrote it. He conceived it. He directed it. So I was doing double duty of, you know, trying to be a supportive partner while also being like, can I please, for the love of God, not think about Mother for 1 second.
Oh, man.
And then he would start reading me reviews, and then I finally was just like, it's not healthy. Neither of us are doing it.
Wow.
We're not going to do it, because if I read it, I start getting defensive, especially because like it's my man, and you know, like I'll start, and I don't want to sound like in an interview that I'm defending what we're doing in any way. Like it's awesome what we did. Some people hate, like, and the people who hate it really hate it.
Right.
But I don't. It's nothing that needs to be defended. And if I read a negative review, I just feel defensive.
That's funny. There is nothing. That movie is so doing something that I haven't seen before. And has not. There's nothing to hate about that. It was brand new. It changed your state of mind. I was just watching and couldn't stop watching it. And I know everybody watching that movie is feeling the same thing. And I love. There's no music in the movie. It's just so haunting and weird. But yeah. And as it progressed, and the amount of people in the house and the stuff that was going on, and it was, I don't know how the hell you guys shot that much, by the way. There was so many things.
Yeah.
How long was that shoot?
It wasn't actually that long. It was like 2 months. I mean, we would take, our first shot would be like a master in the morning. That would take us to lunch. Our days were just crazy long, because it's like 300 people.
Yeah.
Where did you guys shoot?
We got to shoot in Manhattan a lot, and you know, we shot.
Did you really shoot in the Berkshires, or?
No, we went up to upstate New York, and then we went to a college campus to shoot Bard, but it wasn't Bard. I forgot the name of the school, but it
doesn't matter.
It doesn't. Thank you. But yeah, I love being in Manhattan. I went to NYU and all that stuff, and I grew up in Manhattan spent a lot of time there, and it was amazing. Got to shoot in.
I've never shot in New York or LA.
Really?
It's so weird. I'd love to shoot in New York.
You're gonna. That'll happen. It is amazing.
How do you deal with criticism? Do you read negative reviews?
When I did Billy Madison,
Stop looking at me, Swan.
That's right. Thank you. Thanks for bringing back the good old days there, Jen. But I read some, and I hated it a lot. I was first couple. I was like, whoa, what the hell's happening, man? I thought they were gonna be right with me and like, hey, wow, this was such a great time. I loved watching it, but it was so.
You want to stay home and help me shave my armpits?
Juanita, yeah, that was a good lady. She was that actress, Teresa Merritt. She was a fun woman. She didn't love saying every line. We had to talk her into a few things.
By the way, every time I'm at the pool in the summer with my friends, we always say it's too damn hot for a penguin to just be walking around.
See, Jen, thank you. I wish you wrote some of these these reviews.
No, it's so bizarre, because like you're so in the zone. You put like your whole soul and like body, and you move like to shoot a movie, like you do all of this.
Yeah.
And then you love it. Obviously, you wouldn't be there if you didn't love it.
Right.
And then people just destroy it.
Oh yeah. They come in and try to rip it apart, and then so I did stop reading them after that one, because it didn't make sense to me, and it screwed my thinking up a little bit, and you know, when we were writing the next one, me and my buddy, we were very do you think they're gonna hate this if we do this? And then we started saying, what's the difference?
Yeah, it's not healthy.
Yeah, let's just do what we do, and we believe in it.
What was your next one after? Was
Happy
it Happy Gilmore?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And we loved it, and we were young, and it was exciting, and I think I did stop reading them after that. Now on occasion, like Meyerowitz gets nice reviews, and
good ones.
Good.
Great. I just have them emailed to me, so I don't
you
Google myself. Because you know what I realized with like Googling myself? I went on on like a little tangent like a few days ago because everybody was like giving me compliments about like the Kimmel thing. Everybody was like, it's great. So I was like, this is like a safe time to be bored and like Google myself, right?
Yeah.
And then I just got slammed with anxiety, and it wasn't even everything. I was only reading positive things.
Right.
I probably just Googled like, I love Jennifer Lawrence. I don't know what I Googled
That's a
to
good
only
move.
get positive. But it was all positive, and I got slammed with anxiety, and it's because it's not healthy to realize how many people are actually looking and listening to you. That is such a mind fuck.
That's true.
It's like you're standing on stage and it's the whole audience is in the dark.
Oh, yeah,
and then they turn
yeah.
the lights on for a second and you
Right.
see how many people are looking at you.
Yes, that's
and like it
never
didn't even
good.
matter that it was positive. It was just the idea that it was that much attention.
Right,
It's like,
right.
It's not normal.
Oh, that's terrible to be thinking like that. You start checking everything you're saying and thinking. And yeah.
Waterboy, I watch I watch it every day when I came home from school.
Waterboy? Mm-hmm. What, you didn't tell
It was
Mama
just-
I was playing foosball, did you? You can't.
Okay.
She doesn't know yet.
So what line, because you were a huge part of our language, my brothers and I talking to each other as quoting your movies. So what line gets quoted back to you the most?
From Bobby
anything.
Boucher. Oh, I would say they talk to me about Bob Barker a lot, but I'd say from the Waterboy, which maybe out of all of them, I hear what is it? Mama says no, not Mama says. It's oh my God.
I'll be able to help you if you just.
Thank you. I'm trying to get to it. Foosball. Because I remember Dr. Dre said it to me, man. I was laughing.
Oh my
This
God.
was like 20 years ago.
That's a moment.
or
That's
so.
like when Woody Harrelson told me to slow down, Jen. This isn't Jamaica. When I was like 21 or 22, and I was like, oh my God, I just outsmoked Woody Harrelson. It was like such a big moment.
That's funny, man. That's very tough, by the way. I've been around that kid. Anyway, I can't remember right now, Jen.
I can't either. But
Yeah, but I do hear about.
I liked when your
early-
mom was just telling a story like at the dinner table in Waterboy, and she goes, 1970 or 1976 pickup sticks.
That's right. That's funny, buddy. Me and Hurley, the guy I write the movies with, that was our favorite thing too.
Which is he an actor? And would I recognize him? Is he
He's
the guy
in-
with a fucked up eye?
No, that's my buddy Lochran.
Does he really have a fucked up eye?
No.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Unfortunately, he has to put that contact in every time we write him into a movie, and he's like, do I wear the contact? And we're like, yeah, it's probably funner if you do.
Oh
He's
God,
like, yeah,
I've tried to wear contacts for movies. I can't. Nobody can touch my eyes
Yeah, that hurts, especially in the morning when you get to the what now?
under any circumstances.
Yeah.
Nothing touches my eyeball.
No, you got very light eyes. That's the problem. Us people with darker eyes can handle a big finger inside them.
Is that something you like?
Yes, that's a new thing.
respond to that?
The wife and I have been dabbling with eye
poking.
touching. Yeah.
Okay, my whole family are your biggest fans.
Yeah.
But who's been your biggest fan encounter, not including myself?
I get every day some love on the streets. I get happy.
Do you like that too?
Yes, I do. Yes, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I don't need anybody but those people. But
Because they're the ones who really know you.
connect me to the bat.
I think it's much worse for comedians.
Yeah, that's I have that thing when I'm out and at eating and stuff. People do pull up a chair more than I'd say.
Yeah.
You get that too, though, because you
it's not.
seem
It's
very.
not as bad because I'm not a comedian, so I'm not.
But you're
I don't-
famously light and approachable.
Oh, thank you.
That-
I just generally, once I enter a public place, I become incredibly rude. I turn into a huge asshole.
You get icy?
And that's kind of like my only way of defending myself is just being.
Put the blockade.
Yeah,
and
just be
stare
an
straight
asshole.
ahead.
Like see somebody walking towards my table, just go, or like, can I have a selfie? And I'm like, no. That's like my only defense. So I don't really have it that bad. One of my best friends is Amy Schumer. She's a comedian.
Yes.
She I take my dog to the park all the time, to Central Park.
Yeah.
As soon as I meet her in the park,
It's
we're
bananas.
fucked.
Well, because she's
it's-
massively friendly to the
Yeah.
world, right?
Yeah. One time we were passing somebody and they were like, what was that movie that she just had out? Snatched? Somebody passed us and they were like, Snatched was amazing. And I just went, thank you. And like, I totally meant it. Like I didn't hear what the girl said. And I was like, thank you so much. She was like, wow.
It was about you. That person was just trying to find their way to talk to you.
I'm sure she was just talking about my crotch.
Yes. Yes, I don't shut them down. I do. Oh, you know what my new move has been that works all right when it's a older a guy my age wanting to take a picture with me. They go, hey, Adam, can I get a picture? And I always say, yeah, you don't want that, man. And the guy goes, what? And I go, you don't want that. And he's like, yeah, I don't.
Wow.
Kind of works, because I say, well, you don't want to walk. What are you going to do with it?
You know what sometimes I do? I go, it's my day off. Like if it's Sunday, I'm like, it's Sunday. I'm not working today.
You're good.
Yeah.
You're good. No, I sit them down. I feed them. I let them hang out with my kids.
Yeah, I don't.
I got you. I think you're making the right move. You got a lot of life left. See, my life's nearing the end.
Right, you're in the winter of your life.
Very deep in it. I want to meet as many people as I can. So.
Right, yeah. So could all.
You got a lot coming.
So somebody like Paul Thomas Anderson asks you to be in their movie.
Right.
I mean, did he come to you directly? Did he have a character in mind that he thought you'd be perfect for? Did you guys meet? How did that work?
I was doing those movies back then, Billy and Happy and all that stuff, and Wedding Singer, and he was shooting Magnolia with Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise called me up. This is when I was young, man, and he called me up and said, hey, Adam, I want you to talk to a friend of mine. And I guess they were shooting at the time, and Paul got on the phone and he said, hi, I like your movies and stuff. And I said, oh, cool, man, nice to meet you. And he did Boogie Nights. I didn't see Boogie Nights yet. And he shot that already, and it was out, and everyone loved it, but for some reason, I didn't have time to see it. And he said, I'd like to make a movie together. And I said, okay, man, that sounds cool. And then I hung up, and I didn't really know what that meant. But then all my friends were like, oh, that guy's great, man. I was like, whoa, well, yeah, I got to go see that Boogie Nights. And then I saw that, and then I saw Magnolia, and I was like, holy shit, this guy's unbelievable.
So
and then
what's the best thing a director can do, like an actor's director? Like, what's the best thing he can do?
I guess just give you the confidence to go as hard as you can. It's funny with Noah, I in that scene you mentioned with Ben, when we're fighting, I was in the script it wrote, we get very emotional. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna get very emotional for him. And I had a lot of stuff going on in my life during the making of Meyerowitz. So I was ready for all that stuff. And on the first take, I was pretty upset and going at it and crying and doing all this stuff. And I was like, there, I did it for him. And then I remember him going, yeah, you don't have to do it so much.
Oh my God, that's the worst.
Yeah. That's a weird
one,
right?
Like too much.
Right. Yeah, a little bit. I guess and I said, oh, okay, man. And he said, no, that's good. We got that. And let's try a different version. And then because I trusted everything he saw about the movie, I was like, okay, good. I don't have to do that again. I'll do what he wanted. But that was a day I was excited about, and I also was dreading, and I was nervous about, I hope I get it. Because when you see something in the script that says emotional while crying, blah, blah, he's doing this, you've never seen a guy this mad, you're like, oh shit, I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta bring it.
Yeah. How about you?
I think the way, I grew up doing sports. I don't know if you did
sure.
I need everybody in my life to be this way, but especially with the director, I just want it to be straightforward. I don't like, because I know that so many directors work with actors who are like emotional landmines.
Right.
They don't know what to, but I find it so much more confusing when you're trying not to hurt my feelings.
Right.
Say
this is what we want here.
Like David O. Russell one time, like I did a scene and he was like looking at the monitor, he's like, do it again, but like with no bullshit. Like take all the bullshit, like just it's too much bullshit. And I was like, got it.
Yeah, that's great.
Like it's like a coach. Like
that's so
harder, faster. I respond better to that. Than like I feel like in this scene, like your character is, also because like I'm severely ADD, so by the time they start talking about like a backstory or like what she's feeling, I'm like, I was snoring.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, I'm like, so do you want me to like talk louder or softer? Or...
Yeah.
I like very technical notes.
How about you? Have you done any auditions? You haven't done that in a while.
The last thing I auditioned for was either Hunger Games or Silver Linings. Silver Linings, I did like a Skype.
Oh, really?
Kind of, yeah. Audition
in costume
thing
or like?
No, yeah, I Skyped, and originally she was goth, so that would have been really hilarious. Yeah, I think that was probably my last audition, but then I ended up meeting David and Philly, and he, I Heart Huckabee is one of my favorite, probably my favorite movie.
Oh, wow, man.
There's something about it that is just so exactly my humor. And David didn't like to talk about it because it wasn't like a good time in his life. And I just couldn't accept that. I'm not somebody who can like listen to someone's cues and,
that's right.
You know, I just blow right through. Kind of like that Miley Cyrus song about smashing walls.
Yeah, you come in strong.
Yeah, and so he didn't want to talk about it anymore, and so then I proceeded to act out the entire movie for him, from like Naomi Watts going, "Come down to Huckabee's," and doing the whole thing. And then finally he started laughing, and then he was like, okay, maybe that movie wasn't so bad. And then he told me I had the job.
That's cool. That's cool.
What was the last thing you auditioned for? Because you write all your shit.
Yeah, that's why. I think
you auditioned for SNL, though. I watched your audition.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Shit.
It was on the DVD extras.
No, it can't be. Really? Because I fucking was doing stand-up. I did stand-up.
Yeah, I know. I watched it.
You shit,
Can
I
look
gotta
it up.
see that. Oh, no. I was young and fucking very...
Have you always done stand-up without writing no jokes before? You just go up and do it?
No. I do that. I've done that. It never lands right. But I started when I was 17 doing stand-up. And when I did that shit of just going up with nothing, it always went bad. So I'd go up with some jokes ready to go.
Yeah.
To fall back on. And I haven't auditioned in so long. And that really is a huge part of writing my own movie, so I didn't have to audition anymore.
I think auditioning is the most fucked up thing to do to somebody.
Yeah.
You hand someone like 4 sheets of paper and you're like, act, monkey.
Yeah, I know.
It's like,
I mean, I don't know how else you're supposed to know if someone's good or bad at what the person's saying.
It's necessary.
It's necessary, but holy shit,
Yeah.
it's rough, and I got a MasterCard commercial and a Oscar Mayer commercial from auditioning when I was back in the day. But
Oscar Mayer, wow.
Oscar Mayer didn't air, but it was good. Fucking great meat, always good sandwiches, and yep.